Hey guys, it's Rinsler and welcome back to Ace Attorney and the last day in court for Mr. Will Powers. In the last episode, we found out that Dee Vasquez was blackmailing Jack for a past incident and Gumshoe saved our behinds when we found that one out. If you missed that one, check out the card above, but now all that's left to do is to get to the bottom of it in court. So without further ado, let's jump back in. October 20th, 10 AM, District Court, courtroom number 4. Are we ready for this? I think we're ready for this one. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Today will be the final day of this trial. I hope both the prosecution and the defense will be able to present decisive evidence. Very well. Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement. In yesterday's session, the defense presented us with a new theory for this case. He claims that the scene of the crime was in fact Studio 2. Today, I will call on people present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. From their testimonies, the truth will become clear. Very well. Edgeworth seems a bit on edge today. You may call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls Miss Dee Vasquez to the stand. Miss Dee Vasquez is the producer who was present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. Hey, no smoking in the court. Will the witness state her name and occupation? Dee Vasquez, I'm a producer for Global Studios. On the day of the murder, you were in the trailer in Studio 2. As everyone here knows, yes. I dislike needless banter. If you must pontificate, do it when I'm not here. Just a bit of a handful. Very well, Miss Vasquez. Please give the court your testimony concerning the day of the murder. Nick, I know she did it. Make her pay. Right. If she's guilty, I'll catch her with her pants down, so to speak. Witness testimony, time for getting it. I entered the trailer, a little before noon. The meeting began at 12 sharp. It ended at 4. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. At 2:30, we took a 15-minute break in the meeting. Sal and I ate T-bone steaks on the table in front of the trailer. We found Hammer's body later when we all went to Studio 1. That's all. Alright. I have a question about one part of your testimony. You were fatigued, so you had Sal take you. The van. There's a van at Studio 2. I think we saw it. I had him take me in that. I thought it might be risky to walk, what with that monkey's head toppling over. I see. Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination. This is the final battle, Nick. Let's do it. I'm gonna fucking hammer her. What we're gonna do. Right, let's have a check. I enter the trailer, a little bit before noon. Press it. May as well press everything here. By yourself? Yes. And you didn't stop in at the employee area? No. Are you always this terse? Yes. Oh dear. The meeting began at 12 sharp. It ended at 4. Let's check out that. See if we can get any information from that one. Did no one leave during the meeting? No one. Come on. Let's talk a bit more about that. The witness did not come here to engage in idle conversation. Stop interrupting the testimony. The same could be said to you, Mr. Edgeworth. And please stop banging your little desk. It hurts my ears. Yeah, so you put in your place. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. Check that one. And when exactly was that? I've forgotten. Maybe you could try remembering? No. The meeting ended at 4, and the rehearsal was scheduled for 5. I would think it was between those times. You would think? Come on, all you did was state the obvious, Edgeworth. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. Hold on. You had Sal take you? What does that mean? It means what I just said. I had Sal take me in the Studio 2 van. Oh, alright. At 2:30 we took a 15-minute break in the meeting. Sal and I ate T-bone steaks on the table in front of the trailer. Do you have someone who can verify this? Sal. No, I mean someone else. One person is enough. If she committed murder during that break, she wouldn't have had time to eat a T-bone steak. If I had some evidence that proved she didn't eat that steak. Well, Nick, find anything? Kinda wish you'd said a little more. It's hard. I think she's pretty used to being the boss. But I'm sure you'll find some kind of contradiction in what she said. Somewhere. It's got to be to do with the steak. Let's have a look. Because I'm sure there wasn't... If it was a T-bone steak, then there would have been a bone left. If they ate the steak, there would have been a bone left on the thing. And I don't remember there being in there on the plates at the where the van is in Studio 2 on the plates. There wasn't any bone. It was just, there were empty plates. Right, we're going to try that. They didn't eat the steaks. Let's present steak plate. Aha! Ha! As I thought. You claim you ate T-bone steak. But I say you did not. What's this now, Mr. Wright? I don't know what happened there with that voice. Look at this. It's a plate. This plate was on the table in the employee area. As you can see, a large bone has been left behind. Mr. Wright, need I remind you it was a T-bone steak? Exactly my point. Remember, if you will, Miss Vasquez and Mr. Manella ate at a table outside the trailer. Yet, there were no bones left on the plates. I knew it. The plates were bare. Miss Vasquez, tell me, How can a person eat a T-bone steak and not leave the bone? I think I know how. You didn't eat the steak. You didn't eat any steak during that break. That rhymed. You took your steak and threw it somewhere, like that incinerator. I see. Then what was Miss Vasquez doing during her break? Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? Meeting with the Steel Samurai. She was meeting with the Steel Samurai. Order! Are you saying... Yes, Your Honor. As Miss Vasquez left the trailer to eat her steak, she ran into the Steel Samurai. And then you did it. You killed him with your own hands. Going right in, fucking just jumping right in for the kill there, aren't we? Mr. Wright. Isn't that a little presumptuous? Go on, Edgeworth, what are you going to say? What kind of stunt are you trying to pull, Wright? Let him claim what he wants. You say I did it? Yes. Fascinating. And here I was worrying that today would be as boring as all the rest. Very well. Let us have a battle of wits, you and I. Any day, Vasquez. Any day. Good luck, Nick. Let's see. What was that murder weapon again? Oh yes, the samurai spear. Yes? I am, as you can see, a woman. How could I possibly use that heavy spear as a weapon? I don't think you could. I think you would have a great deal of difficulty using that as a weapon. Pretty much anyone would. Ha! You see? Yes. However, that has no bearing on this case. Meaning the samurai spear was not the murder weapon. What? What is the meaning of this? The spear was found lying next to the victim's body. I have proof, Your Honor. I can prove that the samurai spear was not used as a murder weapon. It's got to be. I think it's the fence. You see how remember how the fence was broken. The thing one in the photo there. Obviously, well, there's the guy on top of that picture there, but the fence was broken. So let's go with that one and just hit the tail. Wrong, Mr. Wright. But I haven't said anything yet. I know you well enough by now to know when you're going to present the wrong evidence. I can sense it too, with my fey blood. Okay, so I picked the wrong evidence. Enough with all the sensing. Right, okay, here's the real evidence, Your Honor. I can prove that the samurai spear was not used as a murder weapon. I completely messed up. It couldn't be used as a murder weapon because it was broken. Because I'm an idiot. I present my proof. The so-called murder weapon. But that is the murder weapon. Not so fast. Remember that the spear broke during the morning action scene run through? But someone fixed the spear. It was a security lady. She fixed it with duct tape. Now tell me, how is it possible for someone to stab a man who's wearing a thick costume with this through the chest? It's already broken, it's already got a weak spot. Order! Order! Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? Think about what you're... Silence! I'm the one testifying here, and I will be heard. Are you quite sane? Are you even aware of what you're saying? If the samurai spear was not the murder weapon, then pray tell what was. How was Hammer killed? Well, Mr. Wright, can you tell us what weapon was used to kill Mr. Hammer? I certainly can tell you, because I think I jumped ahead of the game when I presented the 5-year-old photo. Would I make a claim like that if I couldn't tell you what the weapon was? I'm afraid your confidence can sometimes be unfounded, Mr. Wright. Very well, let's see this murder weapon then. Five-year-old, it's got to be this one now. There we go. See, I jumped the gun before. I was on the right track, but I missed the stage. Look at this photo. What is this? Why, that's Jack Hammer standing at the top of the stairs. Order! Order! If I cannot have order, this trial will be suspended. Mr. Wright, what is this all about? This photograph is from 5 years ago. There was an unfortunate accident at Global Studios. This is a photo of that very accident. Not a word of this was leaked to the outside. It was a close-kept secret at the studios. What, pray tell, does this have to do with the current case? Mr. Edgeworth, you still can't see it? See the fallen man in this photo? See how the fence post paid him right through the chest? What? Are you saying... Yes. What happened 5 years ago has happened again. Should really maybe get rid of that fence, to be fair. Mr. Wright, continue. It's 2:30 PM on the day of the murder. Miss D. Vasquez meets Jack Hammer outside the Studio 2 trailer. Then she did it. She pushed Mr. Hammer off the stairs onto the fence. Just like Mr. Hammer had himself done 5 years ago. Though whether she did it on purpose or by accident, I cannot say. In other words, the victim, Mr. Hammer, he died in the same way that he caused another man to die? 5 years ago. Precisely. Ironic, isn't it? I don't like the look on her face. Ho ho! Very creative, Mr. Wright. I could use a man like you on my script writing staff. You deny that what I say is true? Mr. Wright, let's say, for the sake of argument, that Hammer died at the trailer, as you say. Yet, the body was found at Studio 1, was it not? And in the evil magistrate's costume, no less. Are you then claiming that I carried the body to Studio 1 and returned to the trailer all in the space of a 15-minute break? How could I have disposed of the body? The break in the meeting at the trailer lasted 15 minutes from 2:30 to 2:45. Could Jack Hammer have been pushed off the stairs to his death, then carried to Studio 1 and placed it inside his costume? There wasn't enough time. Indeed. Well, Mr. Wright, how could she have dealt with the body? Could have used the van. I think that's the right way. What if she had another way to carry the body? other than with her own hands. For instance, actually, for that matter, there was no need for her to do the deed in 15 minutes. And there was a way for you to carry that body. Interesting. Let's hear it then. Mr. Wright, please show us how she carried the body. The van. Very easy. Miss Vasquez, you carried the body to Studio 1. And used the studio van to do it. So friggin' obvious. Recall your testimony. There was to be rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. There was a van there, right? I had Sal drive me. You used the van to carry the body to Studio 1. Then, before everyone else got there, you put the body into the magistrate costume. Hold on, Wright. Don't forget it was Salmonella that drove the van. Are you suggesting that Mr. Manella was a conspirator? Of course, well, he had to be. Of course he was. Of course Salmonella has to have been a conspirator. Conspirator? Conspirator. The body had to be placed in the van and put into the costume. There's no way Miss Vasquez could have done that alone. Also, don't forget that they had to dispose of the Steel Samurai costume. They had to because it was covered in Mr. Hammer's blood. They probably burned it in that small incinerator. Well, Miss Vasquez, shall I continue? No need. You're smarter than you look, Mr. Wright. I lose, you win. It was fun. I win? Are you admitting to it? So what happens next? Don't me. Don't you have anything to say? What would you like me to say? Huh? I lost? Something like that? I just said that. Wait, so you mean... D. Vasquez, so it was you? You killed Jack Hammer? It's the silence. The confusion. Who can say? Huh? Are you sure I did? Mr. Wright, we just engaged in a battle of wits. And the result of that battle, you proved the possibility that I murdered Hammer. Right. But that is only a possibility. Proof is another thing altogether. You lack decisive proof, Mr. Wright. What? What? Order. Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Of course, it's as the witness says. Certainly, it does seem very likely she did it, but there's no proof. Edgeworth isn't sure. Well, I came here as a witness today. If you've no more questions, I'll be leaving. What do I do now? We're gonna keep her on the stand. We're gonna testify. Testify again. I'd like you to testify again. Testify again? Know when to give up, Mr. Wright. Think about it. Even if I were to testify again, what's the point? I can only say what I said before, the truth, Mr. Wright. I've already said all there is to say. What would happen if I said it again? You'd ask the same questions, get the same answers. A waste of time. Damn. Damn. To come so far only to fail. As it seems there are no further questions, I would like to end the cross-examination of the witness, Miss Vasquez. Oh, shit, Edgeworth. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth. I was hoping to come up with a question while I was objecting, Your Honour. I didn't. I fucking love that. I objected and I was hoping to come up with a question while I was objecting. While I was shouting objection. But I didn't. I see. Very well. Objection. Your Honour, I've just thought of a question. I request that the witness testify again. You are the prosecutor, are you not? Why are you badgering me? I am your witness. I just want to hear your testimony again. Does this make any sense to you, Your Honour? I don't see that we have anything to gain by repeating the last several minutes. Mr. Edgeworth, I too see little point in making Miss Vasquez repeat herself. What exactly did you want her to testify about? Well, yes. Indeed. Verily I say, ergo. I want to hear about what happened after they found the body. After they found the body? Very well. The witness will testify to the court concerning this matter. Nick. Why did Edgeworth? Who knows? He probably realised she did too. But wasn't he the one that said he always gets a guilty verdict? After all that. Edgeworth. What you playing at? After finding the body. I was with Sal and Oldbag, the security lady, when we found the body. The assistant was there too, only Powers was absent. I immediately called the police, then Powers showed up. The security lady, Oldbag, was quite agitated, pointing at Powers saying he did it. I asked to be left out of the proceedings. I went back to the trailer to get my script and direction notes. Then I went home. Don't fucking buy that at all. Don't bloody buy that at all. I see no issues raised by this testimony. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. Okay, Nick, but close. Real close. She may be acting tough now, but if you put her on the spot, she's sure to falter. Find the key you need and twist the truth out of her, Nick. Right. Let's fucking do it. After finding the body. I was with Sal and Oldbag securely when they found the body. That's non-statement. Because I know that to be true. Assistant was there too, only Powers was absent. That was alright as well. Immediately called the police and Powers showed up. What was everyone else doing at that time? No one said a thing. It was silent, completely silent. So we stood there until Powers finally arrived on the scene. Sorry I'm late. Then, silence. Dead silence. Uncomfortable silence. Silence. Hey Nick! Why is everyone so quiet? Someone should do something to lighten things up. He goes, The security lady all bows, quite agitated, pointing at powers, saying, yeah, we know that already. Has to be left out of the teams. Why? You asked to be left out? Yes. It seems that everyone else was questioned. But I'm really not fond of that sort of thing. You don't get to choose that. But you can't just decide who the police will and won't question. Thankfully, the studio thinks otherwise. They were nice enough to understand that, since we were in a meeting, there was no way we could have been involved. Thus, they covered for us. Covered for you? Or covered it up for you? There must have been a lot riding on it with all those bigwigs at the meeting. I'm sure her professionals helped convince everyone they didn't require questioning. I went back to the trailer to get my script and direction notes. Then I went home. You have to find something to peg this on here, or everything we've done until now would have been wasted. I believe in you, Nick. Go get him. Go get him, Ray. He's an ugly little scrote, isn't he? Sorry. Just that, go get him, Ray. Go get him, Ray. Just reminds us of Ghostbusters. When someone says, go get him, I immediately think of Ghostbusters and go get him, Ray. Right, let's go back through this. Sell no bags to system was there too. Security lady all bags graduate bag. Why did I go back to the trailer? The script in your direction notes? Yes, they're quite valuable. It wouldn't do to have them stolen. No, I guess not. I'm going to press harder here. Wait a second. I thought you came to Studio 1 for a rehearsal. Why didn't you bring your script and notes? Haha, there it is, right fucking there. Well, I was under the impression that we wouldn't be able to rehearse anything. Why? There was a murder after all. Who could think of rehearsing after that? Oh yeah, no, oh yeah, I guess. Very well, Miss Vasquez, please continue. No. Your Honor, I have an objection to the witness's last statement. Huh? Think. Miss Vasquez said she didn't bring the script because there wouldn't be a rehearsal. Don't you see what that means? She would have had to have known about the murder before going to Studio 1. Gotcha. Thank you, Edgeworth. Order, order. Mr. Edgeworth. What you have just said is a reasonable observation. However, I find it hard to understand why the prosecution would make such a move. Or are you thinking of a career change to defense? I appreciate the concern, Your Honor. I will stand by my statement, however, regardless of how the court sees my role here. Now, Miss Vasquez, do you have an explanation? I can't believe Edgeworth is helping me. So the prosecution is in cahoots with the defense? What kind of court is this? No matter. I think you misunderstood me. I had a perfectly good reason to believe there would be no rehearsal. Very well, the witness will change her testimony to reflect this reason. I knew that Hammer was injured and couldn't do any action scenes, so I left them behind. Really? It's gotta be that one. She wasn't at the... I pressed that one and I presented that because how did she know that he was injured? Because she wasn't at the run through in the morning. You knew that Hammer was injured? Plus, she said Hammer. She said, sorry, I've just twigged what she said there. She said Jack Hammer was injured. Don't you think that's a little funny? I mean, it was a Steel Samurai who was injured. It was Will Powers. What? Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Yes, Mr. Hammer is dragging his leg in this photo. But that's because he was pretending to be Mr. Powers. Pretending? One person was injured in the run-through that morning. That person was Mr. Powers, not Mr. Hammer. Now, why did you think it was Mr. Hammer who was injured? I already said it was Sal who told me. That's right, he must have gotten it wrong. I think not. Mr. Manella was at the run-through that morning. He would have known it was Mr. Powers who was injured. He saw it happen. Why would he tell you the wrong person? Miss Vasquez. You saw Hammer limping. Actually, you didn't hear anything from Mr. Manella. You saw Mr. Hammer limping with your own eyes. Yes, but... wasn't it Mr. Powers who was injured? Yes, but remember, Mr. Hammer was dragging his leg too. He was pretending to be Mr. Powers. Ah. And when was he doing this? Well, it would have to have been after he put on the Steel Samurai costume and went to Studio 2, where he was murdered. Exactly. Miss Vasquez, you met him, didn't you? You saw the Steel Samurai limping. And Mr. Hammer was in that Steel Samurai suit. That's why you were confused. And that's why I thought it was Mr. Hammer who'd been injured that morning. No witty remarks, Vasquez? No witty remarks. Order, order, I will have order. Witness. Can you refute this claim? Yeah, let's see you sneak out of this one, Vasquez. Very well. I have a question for you. Why are the real killers always so persistent? Why in the world would I want Mr. Hammer dead? Yes, he'd fallen on hard times, but he was a star. I had nothing to gain from his death. Nothing. Yes. You would need a motive. Why would she have killed the victim? If there is a reason, it is unclear to this court. Does the defense have anything to say on the matter? In other words, can you prove she had a motive? Of course I can. Just gonna bluff here. Of course I can prove it. Okay, I have proof and I'll show it to you. I present to the court the evidence as to Miss Vasquez's motive in this murder. It's gotta be the old photo. This event back there. This is my proof. I'm hoping this is right. I'm sure it's right. This is the photo from before. This photo reveals the motive in this murder. I'm right, aren't I, Miss Vasquez? 5 years ago, Mr. Hammer was at the height of his fame. With D. Vasquez's help, a terrible accident was swept under the carpet. And ladies and gentlemen, the case currently up for trial. It began on that day 5 years ago. Ironically enough, that accident precipitated Mr. Hammer's fall. His fall from stardom. His guilt weighed him down, no doubt. However, you, D. Vasquez, used Mr. Hammer. You made him work for you for petty change. Bringing us to the present day, and Mr. Hammer's last role as the evil magistrate. Yes, undoubtedly it was a constant source of shame for the ex-star. One moment, Mr. Wright. We are talking about motives here, yet you have only talked about Mr. Hammer. It almost seems as if it was Mr. Hammer who had killed D. Vasquez, not the other way around. What motive would Miss Vasquez have? Yes, that's right. According to what you say, I would have had no reason to kill Hammer. He was a good source of income for me. And I never get rid of useful men. It's a policy of mine. Mr. Wright, please explain Miss Vasquez's motive for murder. Reveal evidence. Okay. Allow me to present to the court evidence proving Miss Vasquez's motive. This is my proof. And this tells us why Miss Vasquez wanted to kill Mr. Hammer. I'd say all it proves is that defense attorney has completely lost his marbles. Mr. Wright, the court requests that you find your marbles immediately. And I'm afraid I have to penalize you for this. I'm sure that's got to be you. And I'm afraid I have to penalize you for this waste of the court's time. Nick, we're so close. Think this one through, please. Mr. Wright. Please explain Miss Vasquez's motive for murder. She didn't have a motive. I don't know why I hit reveal evidence. She had no motive, Your Honor. What's that now? It was Mr. Hammer who was out for blood. All Miss Vasquez did was push him off the stairs in self-defense. What's that now? It's simple. Mr. Hammer was intending to kill Miss Vasquez. What? What? Now that's a bait and switch. Your Honor. Jack Hammer drugged Mr. Powers with sleeping pills. Jack Hammer snuck into the dressing room and stole the steel samurai costume. Jack Hammer wore the costume to fool the security lady into thinking he was Powers. Then Jack Hammer made his way to the trailer. And for what purpose, you ask? To kill D. Vasquez, who had so cruelly taken advantage of him all those years. Haha. Sussed it. So, You did do it, didn't you? Yes, I am guilty. It was me. Someone call an ambulance! There's blood everywhere. We're too late. Ah, Miss Vasquez. What? What happened here? Manuel fell from the trailer stairs. Manuel! Manuel! Miss Vasquez! Please try to remain calm. No, no, how could this? It was an accident. Mr. Hammer was doing an action scene and... No, Manuel! Manuel! Don't touch him, Miss Vasquez. No! Please, please don't die. Please. Congratulations, Mr. Wright. I lose again. I don't think there's any winning or losing in this. 2 men lost their lives. And, you know, 1 life is destroyed. Mr. Edgeworth, where's D. Vasquez? In the waiting lobby, Your Honor, as calm and collected as ever. I see. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? It appears you have brought about yet another miracle. Thank you, Your Honor. I think not, Your Honor. Will Powers was innocent. That he should be found so is only natural, not a miracle. Yes, you're right. Very well. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, not guilty. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I should take a bow. I'm here all week. That is all. This court is adjourned. October 20th, 1:12 PM. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 3. I don't know what to say. Thank you so much. I'm just glad you're okay. Sorry. I got deep into the Will Powers voice then. Forgot it was Phoenix talking. I'm just glad you're okay. Yes, but it's sad. I know now that Mr. Hammer stole my costume. It's bad enough that he wanted to kill Miss Vasquez. But to think that he tried to frame me for the murder. It makes me sad. Tell me why, Mr. Wright. Huh? Tell me. Why did Mr. Hammer want to blame me? I will show you some evidence. Well, this is what I think. Mr. Hammer wanted to put the blame on you because it's because you were the Steel Samurai. Because I was a Steel Samurai? Mr. Hammer was a big star once. Fucking hell. Mr. Hammer was a big star once, but he was reduced to acting in a kids show, and as a villain to boot. The kids loved the Steel Samurai, and so he hated you. I think I understand. He could have just told me. I would have changed places with him in any time. I think you're missing the point. Thank you. I'm just glad it's all over. So am I. So am I. Congratulations, WP. Oh, haha. Thanks to you, I'll be able to don the Steel Samurai outfit once more. I can't wait to get back into that sweaty costume and... Is something wrong? No, of course not. Ah! Nick! Edgeworth! Say something, Wright. I'm not good at small talk. Huh? What? That was too bad, Edgeworth. You don't waste any time gloating, do you? No. I really want to thank you. Vasquez would have gotten away if he hadn't stepped in. Pleased to meet you. I'm Powers. Edgeworth. I'm a big fan of your work, Mr. Powers. Liar. Right. I must say, I hadn't expected to meet you again after all these years. Meet again? However, in retrospect, it would have been better had we not met. Thanks to you, I am saddled with unnecessary feelings. Unnecessary feelings? Yes, unease and uncertainty. Aren't those kind of necessary? They only serve to get in my way. Would you listen to me, Phoenix Wright? Don't ever show your face in front of me again. And that's what I came here to tell you. I think I pissed him off. Mr. Wright? Was that guy your friend? What? Friends? As if. They're rivals. Rivals, right, Nick? For now we are, I guess. Huh? Why do I get the feeling I'm missing something? Come on, Nick, tell me. What's the deal with you and Edgeworth? And so the curtain closed on another trial. Of course, quite a stir by revealing that accident from 5 years ago. It was the talk of the town. Thankfully, Global Studios rethought its programming change. They went back to making kids shows again. The Pink Princess. Nick! This is it! The new show starts today. You gonna watch it with me, right? I'll admit, I was kind of surprised. I didn't think they'd seriously go through with it. You have to buy trading cards too, okay? We have to trade with Cody and that assistant. Fine, fine, I'll do it. Isn't it great that WP gets to play the lead again? Wonder if the show is real face this time. I don't know. I don't think the world is ready for the real Will Powers. The end. That's one of my favourite cases in this game. And there's quite a few in the series. There's quite a few in the series which are very good, but that one was the first one where I thought, hell yeah, I like this game. The first two, you know, got used to it. This one was the turnaround one. The one that thought, yeah, I'm all in. I'm fucking all in. But anyway, that was, hold on, I'm saving, thank you. But I thought for a second I'd just start the next case. So right guys, that was the wrap up of the Steel Samurai case. Hope you all enjoyed it. Hope you've been following along okay and making your own guesses. Should really start actually asking that for you to comment in when the episode's progressing. Comment on whether or what you think's going on and your thoughts on the case. But anyway, that seems like a good idea. We'll do that. Maybe starting with the next case. Should be fun. Thank you all for watching. If you have enjoyed it, please like, comment, share and subscribe and all that jazz. Help us grow the channel a bit. And as always, I shall see you all on the flip side. Bye bye.